Are you planning a trip to the St. Lawrence River to fish the #1 smallmouth bass fishery in the country? Well, there's 4 areas you need to know about, and that's Cape Vincent, Clayton, Alex Bay, and Chippewa Bay. Now, you're not going to be able to fish all 4 of these areas in one day. You're going to have to split them up in at least 2 different sections. Today I'm going to talk about the Alex Bay, Chippewa Bay area. But if you're interested in that Cape Vincent, Clayton area, there's a video at the end that you can click on and I'll talk about that. I'll start by saying that the big fish are going to be on the lake, okay? But there's also big weather on the lake. So this is where the St. Lawrence River comes into play and is a huge asset for local fishermen, because you can always get out of the weather on the St. Lawrence. So any kind of wind that's over 10 miles an hour, you really want to be in that Chippewa Bay, Alex Bay area. That's right where you want to be. It's perfect. Now there's 3 boat launches I would suggest that you use in this area, and none of them are great. The Chippewa Bay launch is a little tight on parking, okay? During the week, I think you're going to be fine. But on the weekends, it's going to be a little tricky. Goose Bay launch is same deal with the parking, but you also got to watch it there if the water's low. Don't launch your boat there if the water's low. Then we come into the Alex Bay area. Now, if you've done any research, it might look like there's a pile of launches in Alex Bay, but none of them have parking. So the only one I would suggest that you use there is the Keewaydin State Park launch, which is going to be easy to find on your map. It's going to cost you $10 to get in there, and you can't leave your trailer at the launch. You got to park your trailer in a parking lot like a half a mile away and then drive your car back to the launch. But it does put you right where you want to be on the St. Lawrence River in Alex Bay. Now, Alex Bay is going to be much more commercialized than Chippewa Bay. All right, and the primary way to fish Alex Bay and Chippewa Bay is in that main channel, fishing deep water humps and shoals. You're going to fish the fronts and the backs, and then you're going to do what they call a drag and drift, where you take whatever bait you're comfortable with, get it right down on the bottom, and then you let the current drift you along the edge of these things, okay? And you just drift all day. Now, this is where if you got forward-facing sonar or down scan, it's going to be a huge advantage, all right? But with that all being said, you do not have to fish deep on the St. Lawrence. There's plenty of opportunity to do that, but you can catch fish shallow and around touristy areas. You just get up on the shorelines, fish the boathouses, the boat docks. You can jump in any bay and catch fish. And you get on top of these shoals and sight fish and do really, really well. Now, the Chippewa Bay, Goose Bay area, you're going to fish the same way. You're going to do those deep water humps and shoals. But there's more islands there, so now we're getting into that current break thing. Remember that everything about the St. Lawrence River is about currents. So every decision you make in whatever you're going to do, it's got to involve current. You got to get in some sort of current break. So you get behind these islands and find a dead spot there. Now this, again, forward-facing sonar is going to help you out here. But really what you do is you just jump from island to island to island. You gotta be patient and you gotta be willing to move here. That's how you do it. You just keep moving till you find them. Now in that Goose Bay area, if you get over on the Canadian side of the St. Lawrence, you're gonna find these clusters of small islands. And the current runs right through these things beautifully, and the fish just love it. And the other neat thing about this is you can fish these areas in 25-mile-an-hour winds, and they're beautiful. It's very, very protected there. Now you're going to need a Canadian license. All right, and that starts with an outdoors card, which costs $20. And then they have a 2-day pass, a 1-week pass, and I think a year. The 2-day I think is $25. The 1-year pass is $100. You're definitely going to want that. But if you're not going to fish the Canadian side and you need to get out of the weather, you can go right into Chippewa Bay itself. Okay, and there are shoals in there that you can fish. You're going to do that boat dock, boathouse thing. It's a little weedy in there, so think about something weedless. And it's predominantly largemouth in there. You might run into a random smallmouth, but it's pretty much largemouth. There are some nice fish in there, but I'm not going to tell you that you're going to be catching mega giants all day, okay? But you will catch fish, and it's a great place to go if the wind is acting crazy. Now the baits, primary baits here in this area that work well are going to be your Ned rig, wacky rig Cinco, any kind of natural colored swim bait, drop shot, and then a jerk bait. Jerk bait works year-round here on the St. Lawrence River. Now I want to say something about that drop shot, okay? You gotta get real finessey with that drop shot here. Over the last 3 years, I've seen where they've gotten super finicky on the drop shot because they just see a pile of them all the time. So you might want to think about using some scent, and you're really going to have to play with your sizes and whether you're going to go with a bait fish looking thing or a worm or whatever you're doing, but you're going to have to get real finicky with that drop shot. I know in some areas you mark fish, you throw a drop shot down there, and it's game over. Well, it's not always like that here. But this Chippewa Bay, Alex Bay area, one thing I will say about it is your scenery is off the hook. It can't be beat. Absolute beautiful place to fish. You can fish it on a nice calm day or on a windy day. There's a ton of fish here, man. You're going to love it. It's awesome. If you're looking for some inside information and spots on the St. Lawrence River in great detail, check out my website. It's called ditchfishing.org. And I'd also like to tell you about my other YouTube channel, which is called Ditch Ministry. There you're going to find these short videos that are anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes long. And all they do is give you something to think about for the day and help you build a good relationship with God. There's one video right here, right at the end. Why don't you just click on it real quick, check it out, see if it's for you.